How can you support the women in your life as a father, son, brother, husband? How can the masculine support the feminine energy in this grand awakening? Let's dive in. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is 𝐦𝐨𝐬 and I help lightworkers, starseeds, priestesses and leaders to remember who they are, embody their highest purpose and their potential, and create a life they desire. And this video is inspired by many conversations with my male clients because they are spiritually awakened and they wonder how they can support the women in their lives. And if you are a woman watching this, maybe this video will help you to articulate better to the men in your life the way you need to be supported. The reason I'm making this video is also because there is a huge identity crisis on our planet. The old identities connected to the ego and fear are falling away. And there is a fresh new space where everyone can really align with their soul. And men also have an identity crisis, it feels like. Because maybe you don't find satisfaction in your job. Maybe you don't feel like you really live your purpose. And you are looking for different ways how to channel your purpose and how to feel valuable in the society. As a man, you need to find a real purpose outside of the system. To find something that you find meaningful. And to grow on much deeper levels. And so if you have women in your life that you really see are stepping into their purpose, I've had those conversations with a couple of men who feel like, how can I contribute to my wife if she is stepping into her purpose and I feel like she no longer needs me? This is actually the place where you can redefine how you are so-called needed, because of course you are, the masculine and feminine energies need each other. Nothing ever changes that. And so if you want to support the women in your life, these are like 4 main areas that you can focus on. The first one is, most women, if not all, doubt themselves. They doubt their sense of worth, their value. They really have many doubts. And as a man, you have the ability to build up her self-esteem, or you can also kill it. And so the best thing you can do, if you have a daughter, a young lady, if you have a wife, is to help her know her worth by reminding her of what you see in her, what she's capable of, by telling her how you see her potential, what kind of possibilities you see for her. She needs to know that you unconditionally believe in her, even if she doesn't feel like she believes in herself. She needs to feel that you let her express fully her potential, that there are no limitations and you really believe in her. So basically, don't cut off wings of women by something that you say. Many times this can be very unconscious and it can be a small thing. The feminine energy, generally speaking, is very sensitive to if you say something that can make her doubt herself, and maybe from your perspective you think what you said was supposed to be helpful, but if you say it in a harsh way, it's not going to work. The feminine energy doesn't grow and blossom through harshness, through competition and so on. The feminine energy only grows through encouragement and someone believing in her. It's just like if you have a rose, you maybe go to the garden, watch a rose growing. It just needs sunshine, it needs to be watered, and it will grow. It just needs the right environment, and as a man, you can create it for her. She will then do her thing, she will blossom. So this is one of the very most important things you can do. Be very mindful of how you say things, what kind of energy, emotion is behind. Because women are very sensitive to any kind of changes in energy and emotions. And it can be a small remark, but it can really hurt her belief in herself and in her dreams. So always remind her that anything is possible for her, and ideally you believe it, right? I'm not telling like you should lie. Ideally that's actually what you see. So I just want you to affirm and say the good positive things that you see she's capable of creating. The second way you can help her is to be firm and have strong boundaries and always act in your integrity. Now this may sound contradictional, but it really isn't. The feminine energy needs to be contained. And she is contained by something challenging her in the right way. So the way you challenge her shouldn't crush her sense of worth, but it should give her that container where she feels like she can grow. So some examples of this is you can practice martial arts with your wife, or you can play with swords. You can do archery together. You can be running together. You can like challenge her in a good way. So let's say if you start running together with your wife, the aim isn't like who has better time and all these kind of things, how far we've run. No. It's just that you challenge her to get the best out of her, but don't try to value her based on some kind of results. It works much better for the masculine energy. It can crash the feminine energy. I mean, if the woman is in her feminine energy, the woman can also flip into her masculine energy, and then it may feel like it motivates her. But if it's a feminine woman, it doesn't motivate her. It can crash her. So challenge her. But don't create that kind of like circumstances scenario where she has to prove herself or measure some kind of results. You can help her create positive routines. You can help her to see what she's capable of, and maybe she feels stuck, she doesn't know how to make it happen. And you can challenge it in the right way. You can help her see how that could happen. Also, stay firm and in your integrity. The woman only feels safe next to you if she knows that you have very strong, stable core, that she cannot push you around. And women unconsciously are testing men to see if he is firm on the inside, or is he going to change because he just doesn't want to have problems or doesn't want to go into a conflict. You have to be always in your integrity. Speak your mind, but be mindful of the way you say it and what kind of energy is behind what you say. And have your boundaries. A woman will always respect you if you have your boundaries. And this may be something that not everyone agrees with, but I believe a woman cannot be in love with a man she doesn't respect. If she doesn't respect you, it's a matter of time she falls out of love with you, and she can only respect you if you are strong, if you internally, if your energy is strong, if it's firm, if you have boundaries, if you act in your integrity, then even though it may be challenging her, she will be like, okay, I can count on him, I feel safe with him. And it also helps you to step into that king version of you, into that king consciousness. So it's a win-win. Let the woman you love lead with her dreams and her visions. The feminine energy is limitless. When I'm working with my female clients, it's just like, we can go so deep, so fast. It's just there's no limitation. A very basic example I can give you is in my Sacred Business program when I work with entrepreneurs. If it's a female client, She doesn't have to focus on creating a revenue, like moving from, let's say, 5K months to 8K, 10K months, and then 15K months. No, she can go from 5K to anything, to 20K, 50K. Like, women don't need to make logical steps. They exist outside of logic, which I think is quite obvious. And so when she's fully tapped into herself, ideally when she's in her queen consciousness, she knows who she is. She knows how to trust her heart is open. She can lead you and your family, your community, in a way that no one else can. Because the feminine energy can reach much easier into higher dimensions. She can birth things that never existed before. And so her ability to see and to lead with her visions is unmatched. But then she needs you to help you see how that vision can happen, and help her maybe remove her self-doubts, because there will be, if she's creating something completely new. But trust her. Of course, for you as a man, you only feel that you can trust the woman if she has emotional clarity, which brings me to the final thing, how you can support the women in your life. You don't need to fix her emotions. You just need to create space where you listen, where she feels being heard, and where she can process her emotions. Of course, women are capable of processing those emotions on their own, but sometimes they have to talk about it. Woman needs to find an emotional clarity within herself, just like you need to have that mental clarity. It has to be clear on your mind. For a woman, it has to be clear on the emotional level. Then she can move. Then she can lead with that vision. And for you as a man, you don't want to invest your energy into her dream if it's still changing, right? If she wants this thing and then another thing, you only want to invest your energy if you feel it's a stable dream that comes from the bottom of her soul. And you can really help her find that emotional clarity. Be ready that she will likely move through different emotional cycles before she reaches that clarity. You can ask her what kind of fears she has and so on. But you don't have to fix her. You don't have to fix those emotions. That being said, I don't believe that it's good for the relationship in the long term to coach each other. It's very different if you have a conversation with your partner and you both get clarity. And when you feel like you have to be fixing them or coaching them, healing them, I don't believe that this can work, because it's going to create inequality. One or the other will stop respecting the other, and it undermines the whole relationship. So you can support each other, and each of you can have your group of friends or your coach, and you can work on those issues with the coach or the healer. I've been having many couples who come to me, and I work with them individually. And when they are together, they can focus on other things than solving issues. So it's not about fixing something. That kind of energy doesn't create a very loving environment, because there's too much pressure. It's going to drain you and exhaust you in that long term. But you always can create that safe space for her emotions to come to the surface without those emotions being judged. Because remember, this is how the woman finds clarity. She needs to feel lots of things before she has that clarity. And you can hold a space for it. So you can support the women in your life in many ways. And it's actually less effort than you maybe think. Maybe it sounds like lots of work, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. But you don't have to do that heavy lifting. It's small tweaks, it's small things. And you can create more lightness and joy and laughter in your relationship this way. And obviously I was talking about men and women, But it doesn't matter what gender you have, because those energies apply to everyone. We all have them. So it's how the masculine energy can support the feminine energy. I hope that you enjoyed this video and you find it useful, and if you did, please give it a like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think, and I see you next time.